Every Halloween, when the candy bags hit the floor, the ritual begins. Parents dig through the hall, inspecting every piece for the smallest sign of tampering. We laugh it off as paranoia, a tradition born from a mythical fear. But that fear didn't come from nowhere. It came from one man, a father who turned a legend into reality and changed Halloween forever. October 31st, 1974, Deer Park, Texas. Rain falls over quiet suburbs. Children run door to door in plastic masks. In one of those houses lived the O'Bryans, Ronald, Daneen, Timothy, 8, and Elizabeth, 5. To neighbors, Ronald was perfect. Optician, church deacon, devoted dad, but behind the smile, debt.
He'd lost 21 jobs in 10 years, owed over $100,000, and everything was collapsing. Even his car was about to vanish.
In secret, he began taking out life insurance policies on his children, $10,000 each in January, then another $20,000 just weeks before Halloween. His wife had no idea. By October 31st, his own kids were worth more to him, dead than alive. That rainy night, Ronald and neighbor Jim Bates took 4 kids trick-or-treating. They reached a dark house, lights off, no answer. The kids ran ahead, but Ronald stayed behind. When he caught up, he was holding 5 giant pixie sticks. He said the people inside finally opened the door. He handed one to each child, his 2, the Bates kids, and one to a boy from church. Later, back home, Timothy begged for one last piece of candy before bed. His dad suggested the pixie sticks.
Timothy couldn't get the powder out, so Ronald helped, poured it right into his mouth. Timothy said it tasted bitter. Ronald gave him Kool-Aid to wash it down. Moments later, Timothy screamed in pain, vomiting, convulsions. By the time they reached the hospital, he was gone.
News broke instantly. Poison in candy kills Texas boy. Panic spread like wildfire. Parents dumped candy in trash bags. Police combed neighborhoods for tainted sweets. Ronald acted the part of a grieving father. He told officers he couldn't remember which house gave them the candy.
He even led them to that same dark house. But the man living there, Air Traffic Controller Courtney Melvin, was at work with over 200 witnesses.
The story cracked. Soon, suspicion turned toward Ronald himself. The other pixie sticks were recovered, each sealed with heavy staples. Inside, potassium cyanide, enough to kill multiple adults.
One boy had fallen asleep clutching his candy. He couldn't pull the staple out. That tiny struggle saved his life.
Detectives found Ronald's debts, his life insurance calls the very next morning, and witnesses who said he'd asked how much cyanide it took to kill. He had planned the whole thing, even poisoning other kids to disguise his target. On November 5, 1974, Ronald Clark O'Bryan was arrested. The trial began May 5, 1975. Reporters called him the Candyman. Prosecutors laid out every detail: the debts, the policies, the poison. Even his wife testified against him.
He kept claiming innocence, said some random madman did it, but the jury didn't buy it. After just 46 minutes, guilty. 71 minutes later, death sentence.
For nearly a decade, he sat on death row. Appeals failed. On March 31, 1984, Texas carried out the execution.
As the drugs entered his veins, crowds outside chanted "trick or treat."
He never confessed. His final words: "We as human beings do make mistakes. This execution is one of them." Before 1974, poisoned candy was just a ghost story. Factually, it still is. No stranger has ever murdered a child this way, but Ronald O'Bryan made that fear real. He didn't just kill his son, he poisoned an entire culture's sense of safety.
Because after that night, every parent checked the candy bag. Every flashlight beam over the lawn came with suspicion. Halloween would never feel the same.
They said it was just a myth until one man made the fear real.